and welcome to Uzzy Bug Books. I'm Bethany. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited to talk to you about girl chapter books. Now, y'all, I have two boys, so I have a lot of girl envy sometimes. I do love my boys, but I do love to talk about girl books, and they are very fun. So I'm going to share some of those with you today. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is Billy B. Brown, and this is our introductory chapter book. As you can see here, it is pretty thin. It has about 44 pages in it, and there are no more than 50 words per page. Lots of pictures in here. And the subject matters on these books are very relevant to things that are happening in elementary school. You know, whether it's the best project or the soccer star or sleepovers or all sorts of things. This one's the Midnight Feast. But just fun books. They are a very quick read. Once your children start reading these, I highly recommend, really before they start reading them, to buy the collection in these, because once they start reading them, they will blow through them because they're just real quick reads, and the kids love them and eat them up. I mean, they may read one or more per day on these books. So definitely worth getting the collection on these. So a great read. And this is the female version. The boy version is called Hey Jack, and actually Jack and Millie are friends, and so and they kind of go on adventures together. But this is a fun, great introductory chapter book for kids, and it really helps build their confidence once they get going on these. So check out Billy B. Brown. The next one in the series, or the next book I recommend, is the Billy B. Mysteries. People who fall in love with Billy B. they're like, I want more Billy B. So we have the Billy B. Mysteries, and I'll tell you, people who buy the collection of Billy B. Brown, they come back to me and want the Billy B. Mysteries because they just want more of Billy B. And you can see here, they still have pictures in it, but there are definitely more words in this one. And so her and her friends solve mysteries on the playground and around school. So make sure you check out Billy B. Mystery. And I think there are 5 books in the series on that one. One of our new books that just came out not too long ago is Lily the Elf. And she's a little elf, and of course she lives the elf life. You can see how big this is, pretty small. And I would say this is definitely a step up from Billy B. Brown, but not too much. There's still pictures and quite, kind of some big words. And there she is here. And there are 4 books in the series on this one. And just a fun little read. I mean, who wouldn't want to read about this cute little elf? I think she's adorable. The next is Penny Dreadful. And I love Penny Dreadful. She's a complete catastrophe. And I like to compare her to Ramona. And this book is really unique because it has 3 stories, I'll pull it up, in one book. So they're 3 kind of shorter stories. So even though it's a thicker chapter book, you're getting 3 books in one, which I kind of like. And there are pictures in here. Oh, here's the start of one of them. Oh, sorry about that. Some of the fonts changed. So these are fun and silly. So anybody who likes a really silly book, this is a really good one to check out. I think there's about 5 or 6 of these in this series. But Penny Dreadful. And these are kind of fun too. If you have somebody who's not a girly girl, I would definitely recommend Penny Dreadful. The next in this I want to show you is Fairy Ponies. Very girly. Of course, there's a fairy and ponies. And the thing about this book is that it has a little bit of color in it. Usually just one color. But you can see here. But definitely the text is definitely a little bit smaller. So, but this is, I believe there are 5 books also in this series, and there's a coloring book, y'all. So that is a fun one for this one. So Fairy Ponies, check out that for your girly girls. And one book I'd like to recommend for boys and girls is Cranky Paws. Most of the books that I have gone through are about 1st, 2nd grade. This can be maybe into 3rd grade. This one does not have pictures in it. However, it has definitions here of either things going on in the book, or it will have, let me find one where it has the word and the definition. Here's one, jet lag. And it tells you what jet lag is. And I love that because some of these bigger words, kids are not going to look up the definition. Malnourished, there's one right there. That's a good one. And it tells you how to say it. So that's Cranky Paws, and the first one in the Pet Vet series. Definitely great for boys or girls. And I would say 2nd or 3rd grade on that one. My #1 selling book for girls, Ella Diaries. Ella Diaries is a fun book. It's a diary. It's written like a diary form, and as you can see, there's lots of doodles, and there is one color on this one. So this one's very fun, but there are 5 in the series, and I highly recommend you buy all of these, because if someone buys one, then they're calling me back and they need the rest of them, because they are just fun, quick read books. Especially, I think they're great for summer. So check out Ella's Diaries. And I would say some 2nd graders, 3rd grade, 4th grade, probably in there. It just depends. But it's a fun book, and I think I would have loved this as a little girl. So next is our EJ12. This is for my not so girly girls. She's a spy that's very good at math, and she figures out codes and some fun things. And these are her adventures that she goes on. This one does not have pictures in it. Definitely a step up. I do have a lot of 3rd graders that read this one. But again, it depends on your child. Congratulations. Something she won. So that one's a fun one to check out. EJ12. Great for those not so girly girls. Sandy Lane Stables is a thicker chapter book. Definitely highly 3rd, maybe even 4th grade into 5th grade. It is a smaller font. There are no pictures in this book, but anybody who loves horses, and this one's called Horse for the Summer, and living in the stables, and some fun adventures that they go on. So check that one out. My son and I both read this book. It's called The Mystery of Clockwork Sparrow, and they have to find the Clockwork Sparrow that was stolen. The only reason why I say it's a little bit more on the feminine side is that the story takes place in London in about the 1900s, and in a department store, a very fancy department store, and the main character, Sophie, works in the millinery department selling hats. But I really enjoyed this book a lot. There is another book in the series, so I just really enjoyed just something a little bit different and exciting, but it was a really good mystery, so that's fun. The next one my son has read, and he really wants to get the more in the series. This one is, not necessarily for girls, but it is girl power, about a very strong female character, which I love to read. And she is kind of following her father's footsteps, trading on the seas, and kind of the adventures that she goes through. This one's Shadows of the Master. And this one is a little bit scary. There are some, some parts of the book that are a little bit scarier. So I would definitely, and this is, you can see here, chapter book. This is definitely probably 4th, 5th grade, maybe even 6th grade on this one, depending on the child, again. Our favorite book in this series, our book that I like to recommend in chapter books for boys or girls, is The Impossible Quest. There are 5 kids, boys and girls, that go on a quest in each book. And this is a mythical fiction book, and there are unicorns and these bogmen, and it's got a lot of adventure and kind of mystery, and we love this book. Anybody who loves Harry Potter, this is a great one. As you can see, the stones, the tell stones. So this is a fun read for you, anybody who loves Harry Potter, just kind of that mythical type book. And my son loved it so much that I'm rereading this series to him, and there are 5 in the series. I recommend all 5. So the last girl book that I want to point out, kind of girly girl book, was our Choose Your Own Ever After Adventure. This one is like a choose your own adventure book where you kind of flip through the book on you determine how it's going to end. This probably 10 to 14. I do like to point out that there are some, crushes in this book, and it has boys that they, think are cute. But there are 4 books in this series. It is kind of a thicker read, but of course it is an adventure book, so you're not reading every single page. So, but that's a fun, real girly book, and my niece really liked those, so check that out. Lastly, I'm going to point out the last 13. We have lots more chapter books, but just kind of highlighting some of our favorites. The last 13 is for boys and girls and adults. I love this book. Anybody who kind of has read Divergent, it's very similar in not as grown up as Divergent, but they 13 of the kids their dreams come true, and it kind of, it's sci-fi, but it's fun, it's a mystery, and very action-packed. The thing about this book is you start with book 13 and you work your way down to book 1. So if you are going to purchase this book, please start with book 13, not book 1. So the last 13 is a great series to check out, and one we highly recommend. So thank you so much for joining us here at Uzzybug Books, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm so excited that I got to share these books with you today. And please follow me on Facebook under Uzzybug Books, and of course I'm on YouTube, and you can purchase any of these books at uzzybugbooks.com. Thank you so much, and happy reading.